positions. 11, they should be treated as such. The Bears are back, baby!
Hello and welcome back to I75Live. We are on episode 49.
One more to 50.
This is me and Chris's division. We are AFC East is
best division in football.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It might be the worst, actually.
But we got, of course, Chris's fourth and long, and then we will get into all of our other topics for it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Braves because I know Acuna is now hurt again.
Right before Bristol,
I'm going to the Bristol Speedway. And now he's not even probably going to be playing. He probably
is it like definite that he's not going to be playing? And like, who else is hurt?
He shouldn't
from the
be.
Braves right
I mean,
now?
if his Achilles is sore,
They put him on the 10-day deal.
Yeah, I've seen this.
He's out.
Okay.
He's
I've
not
seen
playing.
this report too many times on NBA players, and then they tear their Achilles. So at this point, shut him down. The season's over.
He's torn his ACL
Stop.
twice already, so it's
In
really
both
not
knees.
something you want to mess with. But who else is out for the Braves?
Our whole pitching staff from opening day, all 5 starters are all in the IL.
Wow.
Because Strider technically wasn't on the opening day because he was still hurt. But Strider is. We have Strider and Bryce
on Friday or Saturday.
I think he is. Me and Jake looked at it. He is pitching at Bristol, so at least that's cool.
Yeah,
and we get Strider, but
we're 16 games under 500.
Yeah,
I honestly don't.
You're
think
getting close to White Sox territory.
I don't think we're going to get to 500 before the end of the season. I really don't. I think we're going to finish under 500.
Yeah, I think we will too.
Worst July since 1993.
To kick off today's episode, though, I know Dylan had a pretty interesting. Most people probably didn't see this. I'm not a big fan of the show, but I know you kind of are.
Oh, I love this. So I think, first off, if you have never given South Park a try, I think there's something for everyone. Maybe Jake can agree with me that South Park is a pretty damn good show.
It takes a special type of humor, I think, to really enjoy it.
That's the thing. It's certain episodes you'd be able to find funny just because they make fun of anything and everything. They've been around. I think the show started, in like, you might know, Chris, like 96, 97,
I'm old?
South Park.
I heard South Park makes fun of Bears fans. But
I'm sure they have at one point. They have a Patriots episode, too. With Tom
I know
Brady.
which one you're talking about.
The Washington Commanders, too. It's great.
Do the real people do the voices? Or
it's all 2 guys for the most part. Sometimes they have guests on, but yeah, the South Park creators started with 2 guys, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
And they copy everybody's voices. They like mimic it.
They mimic everything. Sometimes they have like a production crew now, but they didn't at first. And they have like a storyboard team and stuff like that. But they just reached a deal with Paramount Plus for 5 more 10-episode seasons, so 50 episodes, for a total of $1.5 billion.
Wow.
$1.5 billion. $300 million a year.
A crazy amount of money.
And that's 1 season a year.
For a cartoon show,
10
that's
episodes.
a crazy amount of money.
50 episodes.
And they don't pre-make these episodes. And South Park is notorious. They make these episodes so that they are as recent as can be.
So
like
that's
sometimes the week before they're supposed to air.
That's 30 million an episode.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
yeah. And they're crazy. I mean, I can't say they haven't earned it. It's one of the longest running shows besides like maybe like The Simpsons, you've got Family Guy, all the cartoons, but outside of that, they are one of the longest tenured shows. Wow. And they've flipped networks a bunch. It's crazy. When I saw that, my jaw dropped. I've never seen, for just a show, I've seen like media deals obviously reach this much and more. But these are 2 guys.
Yeah.
2 guys with a production crew. That's it.
Yeah.
And they have their studio has grown, as the show has over the years, but just the fact that is the number they get is crazy to me. It's crazy.
A lot of dough.
When I told you last night or like a few nights ago, you were like, huh?
Yeah, I didn't believe it.
You were like, come again?
I didn't believe it.
No.
Speaking of other things that I can't believe, we seem to always be talking about it. Before we get into some of our other, Jerry Jones never fails again. We talked about it last week with his conversation he had about kind of slamming Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott for being hurt. Now stuff is coming out. He's having like pep rallies in the middle of practice.
Is he really?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
That one. Yeah,
with the cheerleaders behind him.
Yes.
Basically,
yeah, you're right.
If you haven't seen it, he's basically up there trying to convince not only himself, but his fans that they did all this work in the offseason to make their team better.
And I commended them. They did. They had a good offseason. They did. But your owner and GM is still Jerry Jones at the end of the day.
And he's
not paying your best guys.
I just think when you have to tell someone how good something is,
oh yeah,
to like buy into it or to buy it, you have to just ram it down their throat as many times as you can.
We're good this year because I say so.
You know you're not. Like you're trying to sell something that's like you're like false advertising your team. And then when the season comes around, it's oh no, all our players were hurt. They all got hurt.
There's always an excuse.
There's always going to be but it adds onto the layer because their offensive tackle that they drafted that I think they kind of reached on. You can save that for your own opinion. He got hurt and everyone was like ACL karma bit you. We found out it was just a bone.
Thank God. A bone fracture.
So he'll be back. 6 weeks. But and then more reports coming out saying that Micah Parsons, the conversation of those talks have gone backwards.
Yep, further apart.
Jerry Jones, I know we say it damn near every week now. Please don't change.
Funny.
It is hilarious. And I think, die on a hill that I don't think we will ever see the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl while Jerry Jones is in charge. And have you seen George Pickens, what George Pickens is now saying? Where he's like, I saw Stephen A. Smith talking about this and it made me laugh because normally his stuff isn't very good. But he said George Pickens was talking about Super Bowls and how he's finally able to be in a culture that's about Super Bowls. And Stephen A. Smith was like, okay, first off, the team you just came from has more Super Bowls than the Cowboys do. Second off, the team that you're now on hasn't sniffed an NFC championship game in like 30 years. Yeah. So
literally.
What are you talking about? So to me, it is a dumpster fire just waiting to happen, and I cannot wait to see how the season unfolds for them and the excuses that will come from Jerry as the season goes on.
It's crazy.
It's hilarious.
You can't make it up.
No, you can't.
Really it's sort of like, too, when you think about back when the Browns were like this awful franchise,
and they
players
still
went there
are,
to die. Well, they kind of, but like now it's the Cowboys. Like you got to believe these good players, they don't want to be there.
Well, we talked about it last week. We mentioned it last week. They're not there to win. Like that team is paying them and willing to pay them the most amount of money probably.
And they're there
to get a paycheck.
They're there to get a paycheck, and they really do not give a shit about their owner or who they're playing for. Where you look across the league to other teams, I think the Ravens do a really good job of that. I think the Bills do a good job of that.
We'll talk about it later. Just got done extending all of their important guys.
Yeah, so when you really look at the differences of what makes winning teams, there's a reason why the Cowboys haven't been successful and why they've just never been able to be consistently good.
It's a zoo.
But at the same time, I love it. So keep on doing it.
It is great.
That's right. I love it.
Anyway, that will put us into Chris's fourth and long for this week. I know I have an idea of what he's going to mention because I know we've got some big movies to talk about, but Chris's fourth and long, what do you got for us?
Oh, here we go. On a fourth and goal. 4th down and 20. 4th and 21. Not the way you want to try to extend it.
I'm excited about some of these questions. Hear what you guys have to say. So, okay, I want to stick with the NFL. I know it's way too early to make these predictions, but I want to know who you think will have the biggest impact of these rookie quarterbacks. Cam Ward, Tyler Show, Jackson Dart, or Shadur Sanders. Of those 4 quarterbacks, I want to talk about the other quarterbacks that have been in for a couple of years. We'll get to them.
Year.
But right now, these 4 guys this year, who might make the biggest impact?
Oh, Cam Ward. 100% Cam Ward. But I think Jackson Dart ends up playing this year.
I think that's a little bit easier than you maybe thought that was. I definitely say Cam Ward only because he's starting and he's all they have.
Yeah. The Browns are very interesting though. Because their starter's like 37, 38, Joe Flacco.
Well, like what you just said, how Jackson Dart is probably going to play at the end. I think we're going to see Dylan Gabriel play and Sanders play. And I also think we're going to see Jackson Dart play. Yeah. So Cam Ward's the easy answer because he has no competition, first overall pick. He's kind of expected.
Yeah, but that doesn't always equate.
You're right. No, I'm not saying it does. I'm saying we're going to see him the most out of all those guys.
But will he be the biggest impact player?
That's the question that I'm saying is he has the most potential to be because of the opportunity he just already has.
He went into the best situation. Maybe not besides Jackson Dart, because I think he has a very good situation as well. The Giants O-line is a little shaky, but Cam Ward has a team built around him. I think me and Dawson both agreed that, I mean, the Titans are at least going to finish second in that division. I think they're going to win like 7 or 8 games, but maybe more.
And their defense is good last year, so he has a good.
I like Cam Ward.
No competition, Cam Ward, but I like Jackson Dart. The Cleveland quarterback situation is going to be fun to follow.
And I think we're all out on Tyler Shough.
So okay. So
the
speaking
Saints,
of Cleveland, then, so when do you think we'll see Jackson Dart? What week?
Or Shador?
Shador first for the Browns. What week do you think we might see him start?
I don't know, because of the comments that were made from the Cleveland GM recently, or the owner.
Shador is also the only one of their quarterbacks that's not getting first team reps.
Yeah,
for some reason.
I don't think they wanted to draft him.
I really don't.
Quite frank, I think we'll see Dylan Gabriel before we see Sanders.
Let's pivot the conversation. Do we think Shador gets traded? So I saw, I think it was yesterday, that the Browns, obviously they have 5 total quarterbacks, including Deshaun Watson right now. So their plan before the season starts is to trade one of the 4 that's healthy. So that's Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, or Shador. Realistically, is it smart to have 2 rookie quarterbacks that are literally on the exact same deal right now? I think there's a possibility that one of them gets moved.
Yeah.
And so maybe this conversation could be, because Cam Ward's the obvious answer, but where does Shador end up? He ends up getting traded.
Yeah, especially after the comments, like I mentioned, that their GM and owner have come out and said the past couple of days. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound like they wanted him to begin with.
No.
But they maybe viewed it as in, hey, if he comes in, does decent, looks decent in training camp, some team will need a quarterback. Some team will want him. We don't have to give too much up for him because we picked him in the 5th. It was the 5th round.
He was a 5th round pick. Yeah.
So I think the question to that is, which team is going to need a quarterback that all of a sudden is like, yeah, we need him. We didn't pick him.
In a way, I kind of hope that happens, because I would love to see it.
I want to see Shador this year. I really want to see him this year.
I want to see if he was worth the hype. I want to see it.
I do too.
Okay, another one here. Here we go. So, let's shift to quarterbacks that have been in the league 2 or 3 years. Okay, I want to know Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Drake May, local Michael Penix here with the Falcons, and Kyler Murray. Which of those quarterbacks do you think this year is going to be like, wow?
Kyler Murray's been around for like 7 years now, but
doesn't feel like it though. He's kind of had a few years off.
He's missed.
So what the question is, what?
So which impact players? Like who's going to impact the league the most out of those 2 or 3 year starting quarterbacks right now? Like Kyler. I'm sure Dylan, you probably have something to say about Caleb. Drake May, Doss is your quarterback. I mean, is this? What do you think?
So is it like expectation to like show, or is it which one with the situation with the team they have should kind of do what Jaden Daniels did?
I think if you line these guys up at the end of the year with stats and where they finished,
which one finished?
Who's going to be finishing on the top?
Seriously, and I really think Caleb Williams with the coach.
The answer is Ben Johnson. It needs to be.
Yes. I really think it is. I mean, Jaden Daniels is going to have a good year.
He will.
Drake May we'll get into that when I talk about my Patriots. Bo Nix, I think, is also. I think it's between Bo and Caleb.
I think it is.
Because
Penix, though, like, you picked a good list.
But Penix just came out and said, we are going to be the best offense in the NFL. Penix just said that yesterday at training camp.
This is what excites, I think, all of us.
There's so many stories.
There are, because then you still have the Patrick Mahomes and you have the Josh Allens and
guys
you have the Lamar Jacksons. And now all of a sudden you have Penix with all the talent that he has, with Bijan looking what Bijan looks like, Drake London.
Maybe they
Bo
finally
Nix playing as good as he did last year. Everyone saw that.
Yeah.
I seriously think, though, it's going to come down to... I think the biggest boomer bust, too, if he doesn't, is Caleb Williams.
Probably.
If Caleb Williams does not get 4,000 yards and, Ben Johnson, what he did with the Lions and just everything that has circled around that team and just all of it, I think Caleb Williams has the most pressure on him to be that at the end of the year. He was the best second-year quarterback.
But remember it took a year for the Lions to figure it out with their new coach.
You're right.
Quarterback. Were they like 1-16 or something the first year, and then boom?
No, they started. They were like winless. That was the year that they were on Hard Knocks. Dan Cable's first year, they started like either 0-9 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they ran the table. They won like 6 or 7 out of their last 8 games. It was crazy. And they were, I think, like a game or 2 out of the playoffs. So
I remember that.
They caught fire at the end.
Yeah.
But
I
it
hope
took
that
them a
doesn't
little bit,
happen
though, to
us
figure
now.
out. And you never know.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson, it may take a few weeks to figure it out.
I hope not.
In your case, hopefully
but
not.
even if it does, it's not going to. I mean, the public and the media's. It's not. They're not going to care about that.
No, they won't.
I think
It'll be
Caleb
Caleb's
has the
fault.
most pressure to perform with the new coach, with all the weapons, with the running backs, with the defense, with everything. Caleb Williams has the most pressure at the end of the year.
I think Washington, so I know I've given them their credit this year, and I think they'll finish second in the division. No one's beating the Eagles there probably, but Washington has the oldest roster in the league, or one of the oldest. So that, I mean, injuries happen every year.
They got pretty lucky last year to not have too many as well.
They also
which
had
led them
like
to
4 or 5 game-winning drives.
Yeah.
And I think maybe even more, and they won all of them. Like, when does that ever happen? So it's, I don't know. I think Jane Daniels will be good, but maybe the team regresses a bit, with their age or injuries. I think Caleb or Bo Nix, honestly, Drake May could end up being, maybe they don't finish, in the same spots as those teams, but maybe Drake May is just like undeniably great. And you just don't have a roster around him totally yet.
A lot of good quarterbacks.
To win games.
Okay. So big week this week with really the last 10 days with movies. Yeah. So we all went to the premiere of Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So we saw it in the big theater, right? Did it live up to your expectations did it live up to your expectations for a Marvel film?
It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't. I thought there were parts that were rushed. The ending, I think, was spoiler. If you haven't seen it yet, you obviously don't care.
If you haven't seen it yet, they don't care. So you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was I liked how it wasn't an origin. They gave a brief overview, so that was nice to not go through the whole thing of that because everyone knows. The plot of kind of like, for most people who really don't know, like trying to take the kid and what the kid means, it was kind of like, why are we fighting over a baby? Like, why does this matter?
It wasn't even a real baby. It was an AI baby.
It was no. He was. So they actually said that was a practical baby the entire movie.
What?
Swear to God, it was 2 different babies. And it was
then
a girl,
it must have been
actually.
a CGI over the top of the real baby. That didn't
for
even
like
look
the
real.
eyes, maybe, or like, but no, it was a real baby.
Now my favorite part of the movie, though, I thought the Silver Surfer, the scenes where she was like flying through and surfing through the fire and
the black hole.
I thought that was really cool.
Wasn't that Ruth from the Ozarks?
It was.
Yeah. It was. Yeah,
she's badass.
I thought
She's a great
I thought
actor.
that
Fantastic.
whole the action it looked real. Their powers of him, the Elastic Man and the Johnny Storm. I thought the CGI was great. Compared to what
they worked very hard on
compared
that
to like
movie,
what Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was, it was night and day different.
Thor too.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that.
Floating kid
where
heads.
it kind of lost me was at the end, to where again we had this almighty Galactus being that eats planets, and that's how he gets his energy, comes down to Earth, and it was just like, okay, cool, now he's gone. Where I know he just got teleported to wherever they teleported him to. It seemed rushed. It seemed Sue's like ending thing, to where I know like it had a big impact because she used 100% of her power that ended up killing herself.
She's one of the strongest characters in the MCU.
So she like killed herself using her power to save, her baby and her family. That was cool, but I thought it was too long, where she was just like sitting there on the screen like for like 4 minutes, and it was like, okay, let's go. Jake,
I agree.
The worst take I've ever heard.
I'm sorry, but I watched her look at this for like 4 minutes, where I was like, okay, we get it.
I bet they ate Happy Gilmore 2
I thought that was lame.
I bet they ate it up.
I thought that was lame. So no. Stick
No,
to the
but
topic here. So Fantastic Four.
Completely different
Here's the problem that I
This
have.
movie was great. This movie was exactly what it needed to be to push forward the story. It was, the pacing was great. Yeah, it didn't have enough action necessarily, but he is, like you said, an all celestial being. They're not going to be able to do anything to him. And the reason that he didn't cause as much destruction when he came down is because his mission, once he came down, was no longer to end Earth. He saw a end to his suffering, the kid. And so he literally just strolling through, did whatever the hell he wanted. They were not able to stop him. And ironically, they weren't even the ones that beat him. Silver Surfer sacrificed herself and pushed him into the portal because that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And so all that, I think it was a great dynamic. All of the characters felt important. Very important. None of them kind of slacked off to the back. All of them had their moments. Even Johnny Storm, you were able to see, like, damn, he's actually smart as hell.
I said it to you about
Smart as
Johnny
hell.
Storm,
Yes.
where I was like, he wasn't just the stupid uncle
Yeah.
that
He
was
wasn't
just like,
comedic
I can
relief.
go on fire.
Nope.
He figured out the language. He
Yeah.
did. So I was all for. I'm not saying that it was a bad movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there were some parts that I just felt were a little rushed and a little. I think the ending credit scene kind of carried it a little bit to where I said it to you when we walked out. It almost feels like every Marvel movie that we've seen the past couple times. It's like, well, this is setting up this.
Yep.
And this is setting where it's like every time we walk out, we look at it and go, well, that just set up that.
You wanna
To where it just seems like a bunch of alley-oops and we're just waiting for
Are we
the
ever going to
slam
get to
dunk.
the end?
No,
Probably not.
what I think they did a good job of, and ironically, Trey Parker and Matt Stone have this. They teach like college courses. The creators of South Park have this philosophy about storytelling. The way to tell a good story is this happens, therefore this happens. It cannot be this happens and then this and then this and then this. It has to directly affect things. And I think they did a great job of doing that in the movie. And it was linear. It felt complete. It wasn't Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness where it was like, oh, they're over here. Oh, now they're over here. Oh, we're at the finale now. Hopefully you guys were able to catch up for the hour and 45 minutes that I think the movie ended up being. I thought it was good. And I think it shows that they're finally giving a shit about production and finishing a completed movie. Like we said, the graphics, the CGI was great.
It's the best it's been since in a
All
while.
four actors were great, I think, too. They played their parts fantastic. I thought Galactus was menacing. His voice, crazy. And they didn't kill him, so he's still out there. But I think this movie was exactly what it needed to be. I think it captivated audiences in the right ways. It, kind of poked at your heartstrings with some of the storylines. But I thought overall it made me excited for Spider-Man that comes next, and then Doomsday, hopefully.
So I heard someone talking about Doomsday, and he said the perspective that everyone is having on Doomsday is completely wrong. Everyone's perspective on going into Doomsday is it's going to be an Avengers Infinity War,
That's
an
Secret
Avengers
Wars.
Endgame.
That's what Secret Wars is going to be.
But hear me. This is what he said. He said, instead of thinking it as like the end goal of what Endgame and Infinity War was leading up to it, think of it as like the start, like the Avengers, where they're bringing these characters together to then have you care, not rushing to the end and making you want to care about it when it's the, Doomsday, and that's what it's called. Looking at as this is the start of combining the old characters we already know, combining some of the new characters that they're trying to get us to care about, and start like the new, it's not the end. No. It's the new beginning. And people are so when you look at it that way and kind of flip-flop it, instead of looking at it as in the end, look at it as in this is a new beginning for all these characters to first come together, the same way that Avengers was the first time we saw Tony Stark with Thor and with all those, where that is what people are saying, and I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I think it could be. And so on top of it, Franklin is so important because he's literally God in the MCU. Like, he makes universes just for fun.
And most people, I don't think, really were able to didn't know that.
Well, you won't, and it's they kind of alluded to it, but you can't really say that's what he does when the people in the story don't even know. Yeah. Like, that has to be something that happens in Secret Wars. That's the end of the Secret War comic or storyline. You may know this, Jake. Ends with him creating a new universe for everyone that is peaceful and stuff like that. Okay. And so it needed to be like this. It needed to be this way. Okay. It was an origin story for Franklin.
I love the theory of how Stark is Robert Downey Jr. is only Iron Man in that one universe. So that's why the Russo brothers say this is the guy who can play Doctor Doom.
Interesting.
And then so everyone in the
seen another variant of Iron Man.
yeah.
That's true. So what Jake just said, if the mic didn't pick up all of it, he basically thinks and agrees with the take that Robert Downey Jr. is only Iron Man in the MCU's timeline, since we've never seen anything other than him in that. Never another Iron Man. I guess maybe in What If, I guess. But I don't think that's necessarily canon.
No, those are like spin-offs. Too.
But yeah, the thing is that he's Von Doom,
yes.
like Doctor Doom in every other universe.
So when
I think that's a cool. I never thought about
when
that.
all these characters collide from all their different universes, they all see this almighty Tony Stark that everyone idolized because he saved the world from Thanos. Everyone else sees him as no, that's Victor Von Doom. He's not. He's
well. I guarantee you, a trope in the seeing Doom and oh my gosh, it's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. No, that's a really good take.
That would be very interesting if they end up doing it like that.
Which makes sense to maybe why they said there's one person that can do this.
But Chris, what did you think about the end cutscene? The middle one with Doom. Did that catch you off guard? Or were you kind of expecting that?
It was all good, other than I won't say who Dawson and Jake's mom thought that was. But that's okay. So I think she think it was. Some people looking around saying, "Was that Darth Vader?" So that was pretty funny. So listen, okay, let's change gears here. So I want to talk about one more thing before we get to the next subject. So midnight premieres. It used to be that midnight premieres were at 12:05. Okay, at night you had to stay up late. Now premieres are the day of. Like you can go to the matinee on Thursday.
Yeah.
You can we walked out of that theater. I think we went to the 6 or 7 o'clock show.
We were done at like 9:30.
What do you think about midnight? Should it be like, I love the midnight premieres. It used to be like you couldn't release a movie before midnight. And now they're releasing this stuff almost a full day before. I just think it takes away from some of the fun.
It takes away from the fun a little bit.
I agree. Because then like it's the only showing that night for the most part.
Yes.
And it's like you have the
everybody
line of
comes out.
people.
And you're just like
you got people that are dressed
the
up.
energy, the excitement.
Like that,
okay.
yeah.
So speaking of a movie that didn't have a midnight premiere,
Happy Gilmore.
there's another movie that came out last week, and that was Happy Gilmore 2. Now,
You guys
Happy
are about
Gilmore
to praise
2,
this movie after
Happy
shitting
Gilmore
on a
2
good Fantastic Four.
is now the largest opening for Netflix ever.
Is it really?
Yeah, 46
Ever.
some odd.
46.7 million views in 3 days. It is number 1 ever. So
I guess
I will
that movie
say
should have
I
been made.
love the movie. I love this movie. It was nostalgic. I thought the script was fun, and I only say I loved it because I laughed all the way through,
It was
hysterically
funny.
through
It
the
was
whole
funny.
movie.
So
It was great.
So look,
was
first
very
off,
fun.
I think this movie would have done great in theaters.
Oh,
I
it
think
would have
it
been
would've.
dynamite.
I think it would have done
Clearly.
great in theaters.
I wonder why they.
And
well,
the whole community of a movie theater, everyone watching this together.
Oh, it would have
the
been-
environment would have been awesome.
Oh, geez. It would have been great.
Second thing,
'Cause everyone's seen that
I'm not
movie.
going to sit here and say this is an amazing movie. It was a mess.
Good.
But going
you.
into it, the expectations that everyone should have had for this movie is it was going to be nostalgic and it was going to be stupid funny with a shit ton of cameos.
I think what hurt it is that the first half of the movie was so damn good. And then the back half of the movie is just like a clusterfuck of cameos and like just, oh, hey, this isn't golf anymore, which I thought we said before the show, it would have worked perfectly if they had just committed to completely making fun of LIV and then the TGL.
It kind of
seemed
did,
like they
but
tried to.
yeah.
But they went a little bit too far off board with like, oh, genetically engineered like Happy Gilmore's, you
Yeah.
sever their hip bone and they can hit it 700 yards.
Yeah.
I think you could have done something a little bit more realistic that would have been just as funny.
Yeah.
Because I liked the Shooter McGavin entrance and I loved the first half of the movie, but I slowly started to fall off as like more and more outrageous shit. And then at the end, you get a green that is spinning 360
That was
degrees
making
for
fun of
only
TGL,
happy.
wasn't it?
It was.
That
but
kind of was.
It was. It actually. And then I didn't think about that at first. So
Yeah.
like that part I get, but at the same time, it's like the villain of the whole thing was just like you made him comedic relief, and it's like he could have been like way more serious. Like actually, I don't know. It was the first half of the movie is what made the second half so disappointing for me because it had a lot of build up, and I was like, oh man, this is actually good.
Yeah, and look, again, I'm not going to say it was an amazing movie. It
just was funny.
It did the job. It was funny. It was nostalgic.
Yeah.
It was a stupid
good callbacks
comedy.
to people.
Yeah, and you know, my favorite character, honestly, was John Daly, being the old grandpa
John.
that lived in the
so
garage.
funny. He
was
that
funny.
was perfect character choice.
Well, and then even like non-golf people, like your mom, like
They had no Haley.
she didn't even know who that was.
We were watching it, and as soon as he showed up, I immediately was like,
oh my
I
God.
started laughing, and she was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "You just don't get it.
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
make
It's
sense
so
to
funny.
you why it's so funny." So
Yeah.
yes, I do agree with you on
Yeah.
that. To where some people they just
there was a
didn't
lot
know.
over. If you didn't know golf, there were a few things went over your head. I posted, what somebody else posted. Stupid, cheesy, fueled by, crazy cameos. But I laughed the entire time, and I 100%.
I did
agree
too.
with that.
I
It was funny.
laughed.
It
It
was
was
funny.
just there were moments in the back
was
half of the
happy
movie
humor.
where I didn't laugh, and I was just like, like,
I
come
agree.
on.
No, I agree.
But I thought it was
Okay.
good, and
Okay.
I thought it could have been a lot better after watching the first like hour of the movie. I was like, damn, like good shit, Adam.
Okay, so last topic for fourth and long. So I know we mentioned the Braves a little bit ago.
Can I say
the
something
Braves.
before you finish?
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
how I said they were heading into White Sox territory. Y'all have 6 more wins than us.
Yeah, but you hold on. But you could say that all you want. But
I know.
Okay,
It's just nice. It's nice to be in the same realm for once, you know.
that's funny.
okay.
It's warm for me.
So listen, here's what's funny is we all know Dawson is headed up, meet some college buddies. They're
Yeah.
all going up to Bristol. They've
Bristol.
got tickets, a place to stay. They're going to this game. Now they just announced last night, Acuna, right, his 10-day IL trip. He's not going to play in that
Dawson's
game.
gonna come back
For
with a bullet
16
hole.
games under 500. The worst July this team has had since 1993. We are so cooked. We are so done. The trade
93
deadline is
is-
tomorrow, I believe. Is that right? Trade deadline, I think, is tomorrow.
It's the end of July, so yeah.
yeah,
So it's
31st?
just what a hot. But you could not have predicted the injuries that we've had.
no, it's really unlucky.
look,
and
look,
it's bad.
This is what I'm gonna do. I bought my ticket. We bought a place to stay.
Get some merch.
I'm gonna go buy a hat,
Their hats are lame.
buy some beer, buy Jake a shirt,
You better buy me a shirt.
and I'm gonna enjoy a nice baseball game in Bristol Speedway and not
If
give
they-
a flying crap.
If they don't have any Wonder Bread merch
so
there, I'm gonna be so
they've started
upset.
to release
They
it.
need to.
They've started
so
to release
funny.
some stuff, and what makes me mad is the catcher gear
Looks
for like
cool. I
the
saw it,
catchers
yeah.
is kind of Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, like no way they release merch.
Maybe they're
that is like
hiding
that.
it.
I hope they,
They
are.
might be. They might be.
They've released some of
That'd be
it
awesome.
online already to purchase, and none of it is like the Wonder Bread, like Talladega Nights. And I was a little disappointed.
What's wrong with their marketing
I'm
team?
hoping they might be hiding it though.
I think
that'd be
should.
cool.
Like, how do you miss this
Probably
opportunity?
not, but I hope they are. But anyway, that's the plan. I'm gonna buy some beer. I'm gonna wear my jersey as proudly as I can.
I'm sure
And
the
I'm
league,
gonna
though,
enjoy
when
it.
they picked this game, when they decided to do this, this was not what they
Well,
hoped.
you think about it though, where Bristol is and the two closest teams to who play
It is.
are, the Reds and the Braves to get as many people as they can to
Where
go.
is Bristol?
It's like right in the middle. It's in Tennessee. It's
Oh,
like
it's in
it's
Tennessee.
literally
Okay.
like if you cut
There aren't any
Well,
other.
it's Bristol Motor
if you
Speedway.
took where the Reds play and where Atlanta plays, I think
They're
it's
like
like
dead in the middle.
right in the middle.
Okay.
Which why they pick those two teams, which makes sense. It's gonna be fun though. The guys that we're going with haven't seen in a hot while, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm not really. My expectations for the baseball game aren't very high. Strider's pitching, which will be cool to watch him pitch,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna go enjoy it, have fun, not stress about the game too much. So
Yeah.
yes, it will be fun.
Hey, no,
It
it'll
does
be
suck
cool.
though because, like Dylan kind of just mentioned, we're only 6 games. We have only 6 more wins than his White Sox, and that says a lot.
White Sox
Who'da
39 and 66, Braves 45 and 61.
So
Unbelievable.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All the injuries, you can't predict it. It seems
No.
like we sold our soul for the World Series,
It's
and now
bad.
we've just it always
It's
happens
rough.
with baseball. I'm gonna enjoy the game. That's what I'm gonna do.
dude, the Brewers.
Okay. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got for you this week.
Nice job. Good questions.
very nice.
All right.
Good conversation.
The long-awaited-
The long-awaited last division breakdown. We
It's the last one.
saved it for the best. The long-awaited AFC East Division Breakdown. Now this one holds a special place in me and Chris's heart.
Yes,
and Jake.
We kind of planned this very perfectly. And Jake, I forgot, he is a Dolphins fan, where we have my team,
I
Chris's
convinced him
team,
at least.
and we also have the Buffalo Bills, who are going to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
So we planned it pretty well, actually, kind of on accident.
Whoops.
But hey, we'll take it. First team we're going to talk about, the New York Jets. I hate the Jets with all my life. It's kind of like I hate the Mets. I hate all New York teams. I don't really have a problem with the Yankees.
What? That's like the only one you should.
They're fun to make fun of for me. They're like the Cowboys. They're easy to make fun of.
Yeah, I guess.
Their manager's easy to make fun of. So I just laugh. I really
Aaron
don't
Boone.
hate them. I hate the Mets. I hate the Jets. The Jets are sitting at 6.5 wins.
They got a tough
Mr. Justin Fields, everyone was scared
Broken
out of their
pinky.
mind because he broke his pinky toe or fractured his little pinky toe. Everyone thought I don't even get
Scary,
started
like,
on that.
No. Not again.
Yeah. The Jets, to me, I do think, though, their head coach is going to put them on a good path with
Aaron Glenn.
same way he was with Dan Campbell, the same expectations we have with Ben Johnson. I like that for them, just looking at as a football fan, as someone who kind of invests a lot of time in that.
I will say though, Aaron Glenn, like we know a lot less about him and his coaching ability and his coaching style. It's like Ben Johnson was thrown into our face because it's an offensive league and like being number one offense in back-to-back years. But it's like you didn't hear necessarily too much about the Lions defense. They had, they were good, but
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, a lot of injuries, a lot of shootouts too, throughout the years. So I will be interested to see what kind of coach he is. If he's going to be just, the head figure and his coordinators are incredible and he's just kind of like the guy that keeps everyone, stationary and not moving around too much.
Like what Dan Campbell did?
Yeah, pretty much. Like another molded Dan Campbell. Yeah. But I think they're very interesting, and they're sitting at 6.5 wins, so the league obviously doesn't think they're going to be very good.
Yeah.
They just re-signed Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, too.
Which was important.
Deals.
At least
Deserved.
you go into it. We always say that you reward your good players early so you don't pay for it later.
Exactly.
So I definitely think they knew that. They took advantage of that. They signed Garrett Wilson and Sauce.
It's like the third years of their deals that they just finished up, or like they just finished up their second year in the league.
Well deserved too. Well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. A little bit less for Sauce just because he kind of fell off last year. So we'll see. This is a big year for him to kind of prove that contract. But to start opposite of him, because they lost DJ Reed in free agency, they signed Brandon Stevens, good corner. He was on the Ravens last year. And they signed some veteran guys like Andre Sisco, safety, and then Josh Reynolds, who was with the Lions last year. He followed Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
I don't know. They signed also Justin Fields is center from college. They also brought in. So they're trying to finally make Justin comfortable. Because I feel like everywhere Justin's been, it's been people don't know how to call plays for him. And maybe that's,
maybe that's his fault.
Yeah, maybe that is his fault. But I don't know. The Jets are interesting. I'll be paying attention as long as, their guys are healthy that are fun to watch. Like, I love Breece Hall, even though he had a kind of a down year last year.
Yeah.
But their draft, they had a decent draft too. I mean, they drafted the LSU tight end, Georgia wide receiver Arian Smith, Malachi Moore, Alabama safety. So they're trying. I mean, they're trying.
No, like I said, I think their head coach puts them in a good spot to improve and, bring that Dan Campbell-esque of what everyone seems to want now with a head coach.
Yeah.
I, again, though, don't know if I fully trust Justin Fields. Like you said, he's just kind of bounced around.
He has.
Hasn't
been healthy.
I've always called him the SportsCenter top 10 quarterback. He'll do a couple things a year that gets him on SportsCenter. That's like, holy shit, that was awesome. But at the end of the day, you're just an average quarterback. You're a hell of an athlete. You can do all these amazing things, but you can't play quarterback very well at a high level to be able to put your team in positions to win every week. So that I'll stay true to my argument I've had with all these teams. The quarterback for me, I need to see a lot. And you have Garrett Wilson, you have Breece Hall. You've got plenty of guys to, I think, help elevate you to not have it all be on your shoulders. But I can say the same thing about kind of him last year with Pittsburgh. You had pretty good George Pickens. You had two, I think, decent running backs. You had a pretty good tight end in Freiermuth, and it was still just...
He was hurt, though.
He was, but even in the... And I know he kind of got benched, and everyone was kind of shocked about him getting benched, and then they brought Russell Wilson. So you could say all you want about that. it just comes down to the quarterback for me. And you, I think, have enough to at least at the end of this year go, okay, he's the guy. Let's continue to build around this, or he just can't do it.
Because they signed him to like a 2 or 3 year deal, right?
I can't remember exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like a 3 year deal, I think.
Can't remember.
I mean, their start to the schedule is really rough, dude. Like, their season's going to be over. So, I mean, they start Pittsburgh, they play Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Miami, sorry, Chris, Cowboys, Broncos. It's not pretty. So I think they finish it off at Buffalo. So 6.5 wins is probably about what they finish with, like 6, 7. And they'll have a high draft pick, and you'll know at the very end if Justin Fields is the guy.
Yes.
Or he gets hurt again.
And then
yes.
Rough. Next team, we kind of mentioned it. This is the Hard Knocks team for this year, the Buffalo Bills.
Highest win total in the league,
and
too.
Aren't they favored in every single one of their games this year? We talked about that a couple months ago.
Yep.
So that's interesting. But yes, 12.5 wins, a lot of wins.
That's a lot.
Well deserved, though.
I think they're going to be 13-4.
You have the MVP. I think you signed some pretty good free agents, especially with Joey Bosa. You know, I think Joey Bosa has been notorious for getting hurt. He's kind of mentioned it in some press conferences of how he needed just a kind of a change of scenery. He's been there for 8 years.
Yeah.
So he's one of those players that all of a sudden you can go, how the hell did we let the Bills get Joey Bosa?
Yeah.
You know, and he ends up with 12, 13 sacks maybe.
That's
true. So I can see that happening. Of course, you still have Josh Allen.
The offense looks good in
general. We did it last year. And even looking at their, I scanned their roster this morning. Their defense still just does not look anything spectacular. They get Milano back, their linebacker, their all-pro linebacker. He was hurt a lot of last year.
Yeah.
But their defense is what we said last year. You and me got shit for it to where we were like, the Buffalo Bills are not going to they're not going to do what. Now, I know some of that argument was Josh Allen and his turnover injuries, turnover problems. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he plays like the first 10 games with 1 interception and it made us look stupid. But it was in good reason because of what he's done. The Bills to me have kind of turned into the team like the Patriots were all those years, like the Chiefs are now. I'm not going to bet against them. If the Bills are playing,
agreed,
unless they're playing a Ravens or a Chiefs or it's one of those teams to where it could go either way, I'm not going to bet against the Bills.
Yeah, and I mean, we already took a look at their schedule. I mean, it's really it's favorable. I mean, it's very favorable. Like I'm looking at this, and they finished first last year. It's probably partially the divisions that they do play this year, but like you said, all of their tough games are at home for the most part.
Yeah,
and they get to play Philadelphia at home in December. And so they've got enough to win 13 games for sure. And their offense is great. I think they have their right side of the O-line is what very much worries me. Their O-line in general. Last year, I will continue to be an advocate for it. It does not matter who's at quarterback if you can't block for him. And Josh Allen may have a better chance than most just because he's huge and he can get away and make, unconventional plays. But that could end up being maybe they're not able to get the ball to their playmakers. Maybe James Cook doesn't have enough holes to run through anymore. So I think more so than their defense, their offensive line could be what shoots them in the foot. Because I look at their defense, their pass rush is going to be good. They had a good draft. They drafted, Vanny knows this, Deion Walker from Kentucky. They also took Maxwell Hairston from Kentucky.
Yeah.
But Hairston's already dealing with injuries. They really, all of their first 4 picks were defense. So they definitely saw what you saw last year. I think we needed some more depth. And their secondary's banged up too. But I think overall, this is still one of the best rosters in the league. It's not the best. I think the Ravens and the Eagles definitely have better rosters. So I think realistically, it's just their schedule that makes them this, attractive to the NFL.
And you have a quarterback that can MVP, overcome all of that.
Yeah. That's true.
And we've seen now
none of this matters if Josh Allen plays like he did last year.
And I think the Bills fall under the category now of like, okay, it's cool. You can do this in the regular season. You can win all these games.
Do it in the playoffs.
You haven't been able to put it together in the playoffs enough to make it to a Super Bowl. That's now the expectations of the Bills.
Yep.
We can talk about Super Bowl and whether or not all that later. I like the Bills. Really cool. They have a good roster, and they have a quarterback who can put the team on his back. And to me, in the NFL, that's what you need in high-pressure situations when it comes to having to win games, playoff games, whatever you want to say. So I trust that.
Well, they took
I think the
care of all
NFL
their-
really wants to get the Bills in the Super Bowl.
I think
too.
they do too.
I think so.
I want to see him in the Super Bowl at some
I
point.
do too. We've been
Sounds
waiting.
silly, but I do. I mean,
the Bills are kind of one of those teams to where if I wasn't a Patriots fan, the Bills are kind of like
Wouldn't
the
have a problem with
Lions.
them. Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
easy
Hard not to like.
They're easy to
to
like.
yes.
And me being a Patriots fan, I like kind of you with the Packers. I just don't
just-
like them because I have to freaking play them, 2 times, and you got to play Josh Allen twice, and then we played him in 3 times some years where we have to play him in the playoffs. So
Yep.
Well,
that's
I don't like him as a Dolphin fan, though, simply because you guys won the division. How many years in a row did the Patriots win? And then now you're finally
Now it's
done.
the Bills.
And now the Bills. And it's like, we can't ever, I mean, we are always a bridesmaid.
Yeah. Next team, though, Chris's team, Miami Dolphins, sitting at 7.5
I tried to make
wins.
Dawson a Dolphin fan from a very young age.
Didn't work.
Yeah, let's tell
There's
the story
pictures-
really quick because
there's
this actually
pictures
is
of-
perfect for the
That's
last
right.
2 teams.
Well, there are pictures of Dawson wearing Miami Dolphin stuff when he was very little.
Yep.
It didn't stick, unfortunately. He fell in love with that quarterback named Tom
no,
Brady.
so
It
look,
worked
Can't
on
blame
Jake
him.
later on though.
Yeah, it did. It
So
did.
this is what
Attempt number 2.
because I know Jack likes to give me shit too. Like, oh, you were born in Montana. How the hell are you a Patriots fan? Look. Chris was a Dolphins fan. One of the first games I ever watched. He can vouch for me. Was against the Patriots. Of course, the
Dolphins,
Patriots won.
right here.
I naturally said I like that team because they won. That's how it all started. Six Super
Little did he know.
I
Super
think it
Bowls
also.
later.
So look, I mean, the reason
that was after their first Super Bowl. You can't claim that first.
I mean,
one.
look,
you were like
I-
2. You were like
That's
2
fair.
when they won.
That's fair.
I
didn't know. Like I
well,
just
you don't know when you're little.
it was
right?
just the team that beat Dad's team, so I was like, I want to be a fan of that
All I
team.
know is that when Dawson was very young, we would sit and watch football games on Sunday, living in Montana, and he would sit there all day. Most little kids wouldn't do that, and he really loved football.
Same here.
As I got older, I think probably around 10, 11, 12 years old, I liked the Dolphins. I liked the colors. I liked what Dan Marino was doing. It was fun to watch a great quarterback. And I think that's exactly what happened with Dawson, where you see Tom Brady come in and win. And why would you not root for that guy? And so it just became that.
well, and we
so-
see that now too. Who's everyone's fan? I mean, they're either fans of the Bills,
Mahomes,
Josh Allen,
the Ravens,
Lamar Jackson.
Honestly, Jalen Hurts has fallen into that conversation
yeah.
now
So
too.
we
The
see
Eagles.
that with
So
everyone.
you fall in love with a quarterback, and that's
Yeah.
why I became a Dolphin fan. And
Makes no sense. Chose the state on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
From Montana.
Well, in
He
Montana,
goes,
there's no
"I
team,
like
so
Miami."
everybody in Montana was you were either a KC fan, you were a Denver fan, or you were a Seattle fan.
Why didn't you
Denver and
choose
Seattle
Denver?
Makes sense.
Why didn't I choose Denver?
Yeah, the
I don't know.
Elway. Yeah.
I mean, for some reason,
That was-
maybe it was
Denver
because
was
everybody
incredible
else,
back then.
but they really weren't. I mean,
Steve
they-
Atwater.
But it just, I don't know, they weren't fun to watch. But you got to remember,
Terrell
when I was a
Davis?
kid, guys, games were on tape delay.
Oh,
you
that's
didn't know
true.
who won a game until the next day. You saw it in the newspaper. Really,
I actually
there was
just
no
read
Sports
that
Center. There
passage
was like
in Expectations.
yes, it was very. That's right. I wrote about that in my book. It was very strange to not have technology then. And really, Monday Night Football with Howard Cosell, the 2-minute thing that he would do at halftime that Chris Berman, has done now.
Yeah.
That was, you watched Monday Night Football just to get a quick highlight of the whole league, and you saw a little bit of every game, and it was in like 2 minutes, and that was all you saw of the NFL. That's the way it used to be.
We are
It
so
was not
spoiled.
what it is
How far
today.
we've come.
We are
Oh,
so
look how far we've come.
spoiled.
So,
how far
but
we've
let's
come.
talk about
Yeah,
my Dolphins.
anyway,
we
I-
got to talk about my Dolphins.
And the big trades that we talked about were the
Ramsey and
Jalen
Smith.
Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I didn't like the Jonnu Smith trade. I understood the Ramsey trade. I think you got a little bit compensation back getting Fitzpatrick to kind of replace the Jalen Ramsey. And with all their injuries they have, you better hope that Fitzpatrick doesn't go down hurt.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be very, very vital for that defense now. So the good thing they traded back
Your
for
guy's
him.
starting right corner right now is Storm Duck.
Yeah, you ever heard of that guy?
Well, look, we've lost two cornerbacks already now that are out for the whole season.
Yeah, I know.
And that's gonna hurt because you're right. A lot is gonna fall on Fitzpatrick. He's gonna have to play great.
And he's a great player. He's been able to do that for the Steelers. So, but you're going to be asking a lot of him the whole year now because of a lot of the injuries that you guys have.
Yeah.
Tua's gonna die again, dude. I don't know who 4 of y'all's starting offensive linemen is, and that's news for me. Like, they're very rarely do I not know a player.
Hey, Tua's not
Oh my
worried about it. He will tuck it and run, and he will dive head first. He is not scared.
They brought Darren Waller out of retirement. I'm
Hell
sorry,
yeah.
Chris. Like I'm trying to find any reason to say a good thing about the Dolphins.
You got
but
Tua
it's-
and Waddle and Achane.
Yeah.
They're going to be great for fantasy.
No, not even that. Like I don't even think like Tua's gonna die in week 3. No one's gonna be able to block for Zach Wilson because he's QB2 right now. I am fading every single Dolphins player imaginable this year. Like I really am. And let's just look at their schedule just so I don't feel like I'm
Okay, so I want to look at the schedule because we could go through wins here on the
take
schedule.
a look. Just take
so
a
look,
look at it.
we start out at Indianapolis. Okay,
That's a good one. You
We're
might
gonna get
win
that
that.
win.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, week 2 we play New England, the Patriots. We're gonna win that game.
We never know.
Then we play Buffalo. We're gonna lose that.
Yeah.
We're gonna play New York. We're gonna win. We're gonna play Carolina. We're gonna win. We're gonna lose to LA. We're gonna beat Cleveland. We're gonna lose to Atlanta. We're going to lose to Baltimore.
Here
We're
it
going to
comes.
lose to Buffalo. We're going to lose to Washington. We might get New Orleans. Listen, I think
You'll
8
beat New
wins
Orleans.
realistically.
You'll beat New
Then we
Orleans,
play New
probably.
York again, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay.
New
I
England
see
to
us
finish
with
it.
8 wins. I got 8 wins for the Dolphins this year.
Yeah.
We're going undefeated.
What?
Jake says
What?
they're going undefeated.
No. No, there's no undefeated season. Oh, listen to
Expectations.
Jake.
Look, I think when you really break it down, like we have with all these teams, it comes down to the quarterback. And if Tua can stay healthy,
He's very accurate.
get the ball to his playmaker. We've seen that when he's been
Well,
healthy.
2 years ago when he stayed healthy the whole season,
Yeah,
we
he-
had a season.
And he led the league in
Yes.
passing yards and
Yes, it was
everything.
huge.
So that's not up for
And then Tyreek
that's
got
not up for
arrested,
discussion.
and then it all just went
It
to
all
hell
went
from
to hell after he got it. Yeah. So yeah, you need Tua to stay healthy. One, if Tua can stay healthy for the whole season, I think you have a good chance of at least staying competitive in all these games, no matter who you're playing. If Tua goes down and all of a sudden you're having to throw out
Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers.
then
Dog.
Hey, I actually think Ewers could be pretty good. We don't know. We'll see.
yeah, and I don't want to
possible.
say I hope he gets a chance, but there's a good chance he does get a chance.
And if he does get a chance, it's because y'all were at a 4th and 15 and Tua thought he could make it whatever.
Or a 3rd and
Sorry.
25.
So yeah. 3rd and 20 and he thought he could make it 4th and 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
From 4th and 13.
It wouldn't
So he
surprise
decided
me
to
in the
tuck and run.
least. I just talked to a good friend of mine who is a season ticket holder down in Miami. Been a fan his whole life, born in Miami. And he said the same thing. He's like, Tua, he's so great. He's so much fun to watch in person, week after week. He just can't figure out when, you know what? We'll wait till the next set of downs.
Which is a good and bad thing at times.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a guy who is consistently trying to, get a first down, score points. But like you said,
But on a 3rd and 29, when he's diving to make it 3rd and
yes,
22,
that's my
that
point.
was a bad
is
play.
know within yourself where I'm either going to chuck this up, try to get a pass interference, but if I have to run, I'm not running for 30 yards to get a first down. So knowing your
medium.
situation, the happy medium of being aggressive, but knowing, live to fight another down or another drive, that's Tua's problem. But if he stays healthy, I've been notorious for saying I think he's a good quarterback. He just needs to stay healthy. He's got plenty of playmakers to get the ball to. Hopefully his line can protect him. Hopefully his team can kind of stop the other team with all these injuries. And we'll see.
I just need to say one thing. I need to make sure that this guy right here, okay, I never said that Tua was better than Dan Marino. Flynn, never said that, okay? This guy was amazing. His release, the way he got rid of that ball, unbelievable. Okay, Tua has a quick release too.
He does.
But Tua
Like,
is no
actually,
Dan Marino, period.
Consistently, Tua is one of the fastest, if not the fastest quarterback at getting the ball out. Yeah. So that benefits him. And I think the front 7 for the Dolphins is pretty good. It's just, like you said, 2 or 3 corners are already out for the year. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick is the only healthy safety. And so you signed Jack Jones, who's decent. I know you're familiar with Jack Jones, but he's kind of a wild card. Like he could get ejected in the first quarter.
Yep.
And so
he can have 2 pick sixes.
Yeah.
In
And
the same game.
there's no in between. And that's the issue. I mean, I think their line's pretty good. I think 7.5. I think they probably finish with like 7. And it's probably because they just don't have guys healthy. I mean, it's every year, and they're playing cold games in December with guys out. It's just not a good mix for the Dolphins.
And it hasn't been. We've seen that the past couple of years.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Now,
they're playing more cold
last
weather
team-
teams.
8 and 10. That's the
Last
record.
team,
Oh,
I busted out the championship shirt. 'Cause no one else in here can wear one but me. Because you guys' teams haven't won one in the past, how long? Century?
Shut up.
Couple,
Shut
20,
up.
30, 40.
Back in the 70s.
years.
Come on.
My Patriots, I don't think the 8.5 win total is realistic at all.
he thinks 11 or 12.
No, no. I think that should be either 7.5 or 6.5. I think 8.5 is too much. It says a lot, though, to what Vegas thinks about Mike Vrabel and about Drake May and about some of our picks that we had. So that's exciting. And I'll be the first one to say, I've told you 1,000 times, I'm not expecting anything but show some potential that we have the right guys in the building, on the team, on the coaching staff. That's all I'm looking for this year.
I finally like the roster. Like, genuinely, I'm looking at y'all's roster. There's not too many holes. There's really not.
Well, and I think our O-line, was it the sexy pick with Will Campbell? No, but when
Great
he got
pick,
up
though.
on stage and said, I'm going to die to protect my
I
quarterback.
wish you guys could have seen. So we were at the draft, and when Will Campbell gets taken, Dawson's kind of like, you can see he's expecting it. He sees it coming. Abdul Carter just got taken. But then Will Campbell says, I'm going to fight and die for this team. And I see Dawson just light up. He's like, ooh.
It put a little fire a little bit where it was like, okay, that's cool. That totally fits what Mike Vrabel's trying to do. It wasn't Abdul Carter, and I now, seeing how good he's doing in training camp, I just go, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to do the job that we need him to do when it comes to just having that type of player on our team.
Yeah.
So my other big one that I was the Stephon Diggs thing. I think that it started really shitty, and it started like, wow, we're just going to be.
He's already partying on yachts
and hanging out with Cardi B and whoever he was.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. He's looked great, though, with the training camp.
They're saying he's going to be ready for the start of the year.
The other guy that two guys I'm really excited about.
Kyle
I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams looks really good.
He does.
The wide receiver, what he was out of.
AJ's been telling us about him for a while, and I think Washington State, I believe.
He had a drop problem in college, which was why I had a problem with him going to the Patriots, because our receivers just have been notorious for just not even catching the ball, not being good with the, a run after catch, and he's the fastest guy, and it's like, well, if he can't catch the ball, it doesn't matter how fast he is.
Yeah.
So, but he looks really good. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. The other guy that looks really, really good, that could be a really good fantasy player, is Trayvon Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
The running back out of Ohio State that we took right before the Bears.
Literally
in that draft.
right before us.
I think he's going to be really, really good in the pass game. And we've seen that through training camp. They have a huge role for him, especially with, what's his name?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yes, Ramondre Stevenson. He
got benched last year.
Got benched last year, but then was starting. No one really knew.
He had fumble issues.
I think by the end of the year, Henderson's going to be probably taking 80% of the snaps.
He's a good running back.
He's a really good running back. I think Drake May has looked really good with Pop Douglas. The other one, this is why I'm so weary and so just my guard is on when wide receivers for the Patriots, is Jalen Polk.
Yeah.
The Washington receiver, played with Penix. Everyone knew him. That we drafted last year. He still has not showed up to camp.
Really?
Still has not even showed up.
I did not know that.
So to me, I'm going, dude, you were here for 1 year. Who do you think you are?
The good news is, though, they prepared for this.
This is
And
true,
they brought
but
in
at the
Kyle
same
Williams
time,
and
that's
Diggs.
why I get so...
Yeah.
I don't want to get my hopes up, because Jalen Polk was pretty good in college.
Yeah.
He had really good numbers, was supposed to be this amazing, and then all of a sudden, it's like he
So
forgets how
year
to play
2
football.
of his contract, he doesn't show up?
He didn't show
Year
up.
2.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I didn't know that. But
On a
like I
rookie
said, you
deal,
guys...
not even like, it's not like
What round was he drafted
Second
in?
round.
Second round.
Like early
So is he
second
like
round.
mad about these other second rounders? Maybe he thinks he wants a bunch of guaranteed
I
money
want to
now.
restructure.
I have no
It
idea.
doesn't work like that.
I have no, especially after what you did the first year in the NFL.
He had like 200 receiving
I mean,
yards,
it was bad.
It was bad.
So I like Drake May, though. The clips that I've seen with Pop Douglas looks really good.
Did you see the clip I sent you over the weekend of that Drake May bomb?
I did. On the run,
Oh my
just
God.
right in stride to Pop Douglas down the sideline. There is hope.
Yes, there is.
Christian Gonzalez has been hurt, though. They're saying that he'll be fine, but I hate when players go into the season with hamstring injuries.
See, Carlton Davis is actually healthy now.
I saw that because at first he was hurt, so that's good. But
Peppers and Duggar, good safety combo.
Yes. So on paper, I think we have the guys that Mike Vrabel needed to get in to buy into what he wants to do. The same way he did with the Titans when he was there. You know, he was able to do what he did. He took them all the way to the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill.
Yes, he did.
So I have hope. And maybe that's why the win total is 8.5.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we're going to be able to get there, especially in our division. We'll find, because it's my team, I'll really go over. I think we maybe win Las Vegas.
I think you win Las Vegas. Give yourself some more credit.
Okay, so let's say we win Las Vegas. I don't think we beat Miami.
Really?
I don't. Pittsburgh is a coin flip to me because we're in Pittsburgh. I think we beat Carolina. That's 2. We lose to Buffalo.
You're at home. You're at home versus Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So even that though, Pittsburgh is just. I still feel
they're an anomaly. We don't know what Pittsburgh's going to be next year, but I think you guys. Could beat Carolina.
I think we beat Carolina, or maybe that's another just a coin flip because it's still week
Carolina
4 and we're trying to figure it out. Carolina, yeah,
that's not going to beat LA.
I don't think we beat Buffalo. We definitely beat New Orleans. If we don't beat the Saints, then wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
It's a tough game.
I think Tennessee's a tough game.
That
one's close too. Might have to maybe think about going to that one.
Oh, we could. Nashville's like 3 hours from us.
Yeah,
3.5.
Not too bad.
I'd love to go to that game.
Cleveland. I think we beat Cleveland with all the quarterback drama crap that they'll probably have by week 8.
Might be Shador.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who it's going to be. I think we'll lose to the Falcons. Falcons are going to be good. Tampa will lose to Tampa. Let's say we split with the Jets. So let's say we beat them the first game. We lose to Cincy. New York Giants toss up on Monday night. I see that one going either way, depending on who they have at quarterback. We lose to Buffalo. We lose to Baltimore. We already beat the Jets. So let's say we lose to the Jets. And then Miami.
You think the Jets are beating y'all one game?
Well, you do play Miami at home. So
let's say I win that one. So we're sitting at what, 6-7 wins?
I'll give you so I think you beat Vegas. I think you beat Miami. I think you beat Carolina. I think you beat New Orleans. I think you beat Cleveland. I think you beat the Jets twice. And I think you beat, that's Jets twice. I think you beat Miami twice. That's 8.
So we never.
I just don't think Miami or the Jets are going to be very
you
good.
guys, we always split. We always split with the Patriots.
Same thing with your division. How it just seems like
it's always split. Always.
The only game that I can see get us to 7 or 8. No, that's not true.
What?
Sometimes you had the Miami Miracle.
Yes, we did. We had a few miracles. Don't take that away.
I think the one that can put us to like 7-8 wins on the year would be the New York Giants game on Monday night.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Now we could all of a sudden be Washington and have a really good year and we beat some of these teams that we don't have. I don't know, but my expectations going into it of what has happened the past couple years, I would be happy with seeing potential and building a team around a prominent Drake May if he has a good year. Yep. And they find, last year there were reports saying that they didn't want him to run the ball. And it's like, why? Like it's like looking at Josh Allen and saying, don't run the ball.
It just doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense what was going on
last year. Yeah. You finally got a taste into what it's like as a Bears fan, finally.
I did. And it sucks.
It's just a bunch of head scratching comments and moves. And you're like,
What do you mean? Don't tell your quarterback to run the ball. Just tell him to slide. Just tell him to get out of bounds. It's very simple.
Don't be Tua.
So yeah, I am excited. I think all the training camp stuff. Like I said, Henderson, Kyle Williams. I would love to buy a jersey
Georgia center too. Like you guys had a really good draft. The Cal safety, all across the board, made some very good picks. Very good picks. And so I think this is the building year.
I would love to finally purchase a Patriots jersey.
I think you should get a Will Campbell jersey.
That's Jake
the one guy is going to be there 15
That's
years.
That's what Jake said too.
Will Campbell is the pick.
Well, and everyone's seen it. The new uniforms are coming out for the rivalry stuff. More teams than I thought. So
what divisions are they doing? Let's look.
They're doing the Washington's getting one. The Eagles are getting one. The Jets are getting one. The Dolphins. The Arizona Cardinals.
How can they not do the Bears and Packers? AFC East and NFC West.
Yes, you're right. The Rams. The rumor Rams are getting like black ones, which would be really cool.
Next year is AFC South and NFC North.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't care about next year yet.
Jake was saying, Jake hopes that the Dolphins, which I think this would be great if they brought back an orange uniform.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
orange was
sick.
cool.
That'd be
like
really
the orange
cool.
would be
I
really
bet you
cool.
guys are finally getting your red jerseys.
I want
back.
the red.
I think you're getting
I
them
want the
back.
ones with the really
The
big.
stars?
No, the really big Patriot head going this way.
Okay.
You know, I know
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
I
about.
think when did is there August 28th is when they get released.
Yeah. So people are trying to pick apart, like based on the logos
Okay.
and what the color the uniform's going to be.
Oh
and,
man.
and everything. They're going to be cool, but I hope that maybe this year I can finally.
It's about damn time the
jersey.
NFL started spicing up their jerseys, dude.
Well,
It's been I love the
Yeah.
classics, but I love when they use alternates. And
Yeah.
they have so much potential.
And
for
helmets,
other
like
ones.
all the helmet potential.
The
and-
Bears never I love the Bears uniforms. It's one of the best in the league, just like the navy blue, but they don't change ever. It's always that's how they look.
Buffalo bringing the red helmets back is really cool.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
a huge
that.
throwback.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'll be cool when all those are released.
Very cool.
But to wrap up our final division, AFC East questions.
Buffalo?
Who wins the division? I think it's easy. Buffalo.
It's easy.
I seriously think, and I'm basing this off health. If Tua stays healthy, I'm going with the Dolphins at 2. I'm going with the Patriots at 3, and the Jets sitting last.
Yeah.
That now I could see the only one that I see really switching would be the Patriots
2
and the
and 3.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
If the Patriots end up coming out with a better, team than they had last year, Tua gets hurt.
I just think
can
y'all
see us
are
coming
gonna,
in second.
Y'all are gonna come to play. Like that
I
team
hope.
is motivated. Mike Vrabel knows how to get his guys going. Yes, let's go. Come on.
No.
Show, show the podcast what this guy did. That is a Mac Jones number 10 jersey.
yes.
Dawson
We told
spent
this story.
with his own money.
We told this story. Me and
yes.
Vanny. We
There's the proof.
Here's the proof.
That's the proof.
Vanny bought a white one. I bought a blue one. I should burn it.
Good.
I should burn it.
Live on air.
So maybe we need to make a penalty.
Oh,
He's going to
you
have to
gotta
wear that.
Get the tape.
Yeah, he's going to have
May,
to wear
right
that
here.
on an
Drake
episode
May.
if something happens.
Right
so
there.
if the Dolphins sweep the Patriots, you have to wear that jersey.
That's fine. That's fine.
Let's do
If
it.
the Dolphins sweep the Patriots, I'll wear your Dan Marino jersey for an episode.
Right on. There we go.
Ooh, I like
love
that
it.
better. I like that
that's
better.
what I'll do.
But yeah, I think Bills win the division. I think the Patriots finish second, but I think the Dolphins finish third, and I think they probably finish with probably similar win totals. But I think, like I said, the Patriots sweep the Dolphins, and then the Jets finish last. I think the Jets just. They're weird, and we know next to nothing about what their head coach is going to be, even less than Ben Johnson. So yeah, I think Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets is how your division shakes up.
I disagree. I actually agree with Dawson. I mean, obviously the Bills.
Dolphins second.
I think we're going to take second because I just don't see us losing to the Jets.
Well, you just
I
got to
don't see
stay
us
healthy.
losing to the Patriots.
Just need
so
health.
regardless of the overall, wins and losses, we're going to be second in the AFC East.
Okay.
I believe that. I think the Jets will be last, no question.
I think one
I think
team
we'll be
wins it
close.
or
We'll be a
makes
game ahead of
playoffs.
you guys. I
Yeah,
think we'll be a game
you and
ahead.
me will be. I think
One
unless
game.
something just crazy happens.
Realistically,
And of course,
it could
we
be,
won't make the playoffs.
No.
No, one team will make the playoffs. Unfortunately, because
Realistically, it could
AFC
be
is
the
just-
last. I think 3 teams being 8, 7, 6,
Yeah.
like that. And it's. I think one team makes the playoffs. I think realistically, the Patriots or Dolphins could get close. Like I said, they end up coming out the gate really hot, playing well. Maybe.
AFC is just
But
too loaded, especially
is.
when you go to the north.
The
you got the
NFL in
Bengals,
general
the
is-
Ravens, and the Broncos, the Chiefs. Like there's just too many teams.
There are not that many uncompetitive teams this year. There are really not.
We
There
say
are
that
not a
every
lot of
year,
teams.
and
Well,
then it seems like
That's the NFL marketing
That's
right there.
injuries
Yeah.
take over, and it's like
Yeah.
guys are out. Freak shit happens all the time with Hail Marys and not calling a timeout.
Hey, before we
Less than
finish up,
2
you guys. So
minutes.
Dawson,
That's
funny
okay.
story that came out of training camp here for the Falcons. So did you hear? I wanted your take on it because did you hear this? So the backup center was in some of the drills yesterday
For the Falcons?
and he didn't know the snap count. So all of a sudden, the whole line, everybody moved on one, and the center was still just holding the ball.
That's my
And the
favorite
coach
when
looked
that
down and
happens.
said, whatever his name is, get out, you're done. right? Like, just like when you were like younger. Like, the funny thing is, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, even a professional athlete.
You are not
miss a
below
snap
getting
count,
yelled at.
you're like done. You're out.
I think
like,
it's even more of a consequence because you're getting paid
a lot of money.
Yes.
a lot of money to
He's
play
like,
this
sorry,
game.
man, I
to
didn't
not make
count.
those mistakes
not-
and to
I
know
mean,
the
yeah.
snap count.
Yeah, it's different when you're in
That's a
high
drive
school
killer
or
right
when
there.
you're in.
Oh, yeah.
But
I thought it was funny that they're like, get out, go sit on the
well,
sideline.
we say the same thing about the Bears. The
I was
other
about
day.
to say it. We're actually first time in years. I think you were may have been the one that sent it to me. We're finally chewing our guys out like we should be. Luther Burden yesterday.
Yeah, they kicked out Luther Burton, which is their second round draft pick out of Missouri.
Yeah,
Wide receiver. He messed up a route. Ben Johnson yelled at him, kicked him out of practice.
It wasn't even that. He messed up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
He didn't line up correctly, and Ben Johnson threw his ass out, chewed him out, and then
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
that's-
sometimes
I
you gotta
love
do.
it.
Sometimes you gotta do stuff like that
Yeah.
to really.
Well, that's
set us
too.
down.
You'll like this, Chris. So more so, it's because we remember this playing football growing up. Our defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, every time a new player comes into the defense, so like to start training camp, everyone did 40 up downs. And when asked about it, like in his like little press conference after practice, he said, "You have to pay the price. It's a privilege to be on this defense. So nobody is above that." And so like you're gonna see a guy, I think Kevin Byard said like it's gonna be great to see guys that get signed to like week 14 and 15, and the first thing they have to do is 40 up downs when they come to the building. I love it.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
You have to pay the toll.
set the tone in camp.
Well, that's going to wrap up episode 49. That also wraps up our division breakdown.
That also wraps up the NFL offseason.
That does. We are
right.
now full swing into the first game is tomorrow night. I know it's a Hall of Fame game and no one really knows.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Don't
matter.
care.
There
Don't
is
care.
football on. But yes, off season officially over. The next, for us, what that looks like is we are going to really be jumping into fantasy. Going to be jumping into, just everything that the real NFL season comes with. And we cannot wait. This is everyone's college football starts.
We've got I-75 draft coming up.
Yeah, we've got fantasy. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned. It's going to be fun, but this officially wraps up the dead zone of.
We're back, baby.
And it was great.
We're back.
I love the breakdown of all the
It was
conferences.
fun.
That was great.
It was fun.
We'll do that every year.
We'll
do that every year.
Fun. But yes, episode 49. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir. It's been real, guys.
Shake and bake.
It's shake and bake time.